social presencing theater, their practices, their kind of way of living. It's a feeling of being part of a social body. You know, we're all together on this planet. And I often feel people don't realize or recognize how influential our presence is. That's something that we could celebrate in this work.
Social presencing theater is about accessing your deeper sources of knowing, not as an onlooker or as an observer, but as a creator and as somebody who is able to co-sense and co-shape the emerging future. It does it for individuals, for groups, for teams, it does it for organizations, and also it does it for larger systems.
There are different systems at play in our society, so in a way making visible some of what's happening in that system is in itself a process of change.
We see how groups of people relate with one another on a nonverbal level, and that information is very important in terms of our systems being able to move in a more positive way.
In social presencing theater, we have a variety of different practices. Usually we start with something that's called the 20-minute dance, which is really a mindfulness of body practice.
It's very simple, starting on the floor and moving towards standing and walking. We just let our mind attend to the feeling of the body.
I was working with a corporate manufacturing client. After doing a 20-minute dance, the vice president of the company said that it was the first time that he had really felt his feet on the ground in as long as he could remember. And so to be able to access that again gives me great hope for what else is possible in terms of really reclaiming what it is to be a human being.
And then we have a variety of other exercises. So there's a stuck exercise, which can be done as individuals or as groups, of bringing to mind a situation where something in your life or in your work is not moving forward, then embodying what it feels like to be stuck in that situation.
And then the stuck is not sustainable. It wants to move to something. What does it want to do is what the practice is about. Not what I think is best or you think is best, but what does the stuck want to do?
I found myself on the ground, literally on the ground in my sculpture too, gathering little pieces of lint up off the carpet. And I was able to become aware that this was a call that I had to go deeper into an actual neighborhood. And it helped me leave a position I'd been in for 18 years, guiding policy and doing work at the highest level, to working in Harlem with young people in transition from high school. And it's been one of the most illuminating and important experiences of my life.
There's another social presencing theater practice that we call 4D mapping, which we use with multi-stakeholder groups to look at a situation where there's usually an organizational issue or an issue across organizations that is not moving forward in a particular way. So people are invited to embody a particular role in that system and to place themselves in a space in relation to each other that represents the state of the challenge that somebody's wanting to address.
Then the players move, again paying attention to the feeling in the body and the sense of their place in the system. They're asked to move in where they feel their place might actually be. Then it's a reflection method. What are you noticing? It's collectively seeing both the stuck pattern in the system as well as its underlying yearning to be sane and healthy and compassionate.
So we had a client with a huge office building. He came to us and asked us how we can make this building look a bit nicer. So we decided to make a 4D mapping on it. What came out of it was this it's evident, but it wasn't evident thing that this client has to invest in the neighborhood. He can't just focus on his building. And in fact, that was what he did. Now there is a lot of small pop-up firms for the mapping open up to looking at the task in a much broader perspective.
Social presencing theater, we have seen, is relatable to people at the top of the organizations, at the base of the organizations, because it is activating the deeper sources of our humanity. It's universally usable, and that's where it can be a critical piece in transforming education, in transforming our economy, and in transforming our governance system. In a way, they need to be transformed for the future of our planet.